showtime. Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime. Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Showtime! Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.
Greetings, true believers. Welcome in. I'm Ed Berliner. I am the ringmaster here on the fastest show in sports. The gentleman, now I'm going to try to do this again at the top of the show and see if I can get it right. The gentleman to my left, you're right. There you go. I got it right there. Yeah. That's Kevin Winter, former ESPN host and anchor. He joins us here today because Mike Wise is on assignment. Just like to say that. We went there before one time. Kevin Winter's on assignment. We don't know what he's doing on assignment, but he's off somewhere.
On assignment.
So
I love that.
That's why it's the easiest way to take care of everything. We go ahead. Let's get rocking. I have never been so thrilled in my life to say that we're going to start in the WNBA today, kids.
Words I never thought I would utter for 600, Alex.
Never. You put that right up there and you never thought you'd lead. I mean, I get it. It's a major sport. We understand that. But to lead with the WNBA, with the audience that usually listens to sports talk shows and sports podcasts and sports video, that is usually the male demographic from 18 to 38, somewhere in there, or 20 to 45, whatever. Most guys don't give a damn about the WNBA. They don't want to know. But it's worth it this week because this is just absolutely hot, and it's just fun stuff to talk about.
And it's juicy. It
is juicy. You know, we do have to make that element right here. Yes, we're just like every other podcast and show in America, whether it's news, sports, entertainment, whatever. You look for the juicy, salacious crap that happens at the top, and you just want to grab them. That's our whole, we pull you in just when you thought you were out. We pull you back in.
We pull you back in. And then also, let's add the other element when we bring this up. The story we're going to has black and white.
See?
And it's got a rivalry, and it's got two individuals who've been talked about for 4 years now. So I'll let you set it up because obviously everyone can figure out now. We're talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and what happened over the weekend in the season opener.
What has gone on between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would normally just go down to basically a rivalry between two players. But let's be honest here. What happens between Clark and Reese right now is pushing the WNBA. It is part of their marketing. It is part of putting people in the seats. Yes, I understand, and I'm going to catch grief from people on this going, wait a minute, you're overlooking the fact that this is really exceptionally talented basketball. Yes, it is. I've said that so many times before. These are exceptionally talented individuals. But right now, the WNBA will grab onto anything they can, which will help market them and help put the words WNBA on somebody's lips, like ours.
Right.
Because that's all about putting bodies in the seats, selling tickets, getting ratings. And these two are good for ratings right now because it doesn't make a difference if they hate each other, like each other, loathe each other. If it's all just a big act, it doesn't make a difference. It grabs it because people immediately go after it. Oh, there it is.
Hang on.
The black woman, the white girl are going at it right now. We got to make something out of this. You know that.
How did the WNBA and ABC on Sunday afternoon, how did they open their season? There were two games. Las Vegas versus New York. Last two champions, I believe. I think New York won last year. Last two champions. Game one. Game two. Indiana and Chicago. Caitlin versus Angel. They put it on there's the reason. They are at that level. And by the way, New York and Las Vegas is good basketball. I actually watched some of those finals the last couple of years. That's good basketball, and it draws me to watch those finals.
Wait a minute, I'm going to stop you there for 1 second. It's something when you just said I actually watched it.
Yes,
that is actually very telling because people would not say that necessarily if they're basketball fans about the NBA, but because you're a guy. You say, I actually watched it. It's kind of like you say, I
So
gave it a chance to watch it here, even though, and I know you didn't say it, and I know you didn't mean it, but the underlying that a lot of people are taking there is, I actually watched it, even though it was women's basketball.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't go searching for the WNBA. But if there's a matchup that I'm familiar with, because I used to have to check the score, I check the schedule, see who's there. Okay, I kind of know what's going on here. Maybe this is gonna be a good matchup. Or I follow some women who are part of the WNBA and who follow it. And I if their Twitter says, "Hey, this is gonna be a good game tonight," I'll check it out and I'll say, "Hey, let's see what this is about." Show me that it's worthwhile for me to say, "Hey, I'm gonna stick to this." Now. So that's where I said Vegas and New York was always good to stick to.
Right.
The other side is this is getting spicy between Angel and Caitlin. And
it's been spicy for a while, but now because they're sitting on the same pro side of things and the WNBA is looking for as much marketing as they can get, they'll make a big simus out of this no matter what happens.
Here's the difference between them in college and them now. Now you're guaranteed to have them face each other, at least twice a year? I don't know the makings of the WNBA schedule. You're guaranteed to have regular season matchups. That wasn't guaranteed to happen in college. You were only hoping that Iowa and LSU would meet somewhere along the line in the NCAA tournament. We've gotten to the point now when you're at the pros, you can set these schedules up. You can where'd I go? You can set these schedules up. You can set these schedules up where you have these star matchups.
But that's standard for any sport. I mean, absolutely that the WNBA and ESPN work together to make sure that Clark and Reese were there on the very first day, whether it's the first game or the second game, because that's the explosiveness. Here's our champions. Oh, yeah, and by the way, here's two players who either really can't stand each other or who are buying in on all the marketing necessary to go ahead, scream, holler, and create some sort of a battle here that will get us played over and over again and get a couple of white guys to talk about us.
Well, and now, so here's my next level. You're 100% right, but here's my next level. Because when I see these TikToks or Reels on whatever it is, and they're showing either Angel or Caitlin, I immediately click to that little circle that's got that little thing down where the comments are. And I click the comments because I want to see the comments. And it's massive hate and massive love. And you can tell which side is coming for which. It is obvious. And by the way, and I hate it. But I just want to read the comments because I actually enjoy watching both of them play basketball. They're not the same skill set. I think they're both terrific at what they do. Angel is a worker on the blocks. Caitlin is a shooter. I enjoy watching them play basketball. Very rarely do you actually have to see them mix it up like they did on Sunday. And if you haven't seen the clip, good. See the clip because I've always defended Angel as well. She's exuberant. She is emotional. That's the word I'm searching for. She's emotional when she plays. Say it again.
Angry.
I don't think she's angry.
I do.
I don't think she's angry.
I think she's angry that she doesn't get as much. I think she is very angry about the attention level that is foisted on Caitlin Clark, and she believes that she should get more of it. Absolutely, without question, if you just listen to her. And not only that, but look at her reactions.
Okay, so I wouldn't call that angry. I would say, so she had a comment, I think it was last year. She had a comment where Angel said, it's not just Caitlin that is this new wave of player into this WNBA that is bringing this league along. She is absolutely along for the ride. If there's no Angel, I'm not Caitlin's going to get the love, but I'm not sure the league's going to get as much attention. Angel is absolutely helping this league get attention because the two of them. I mean, I was 7. So hang on. I'm 7 in 84 with Bird and Magic, black and white. You would be able to help this. I know. You'd be able to help this a little bit. You'd be able to say this a little more. You watched them in 79, black versus white. I've seen all the documentaries. Huh?
I was just a child.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. I know you. But is it similar? Is it similar to you got the brothers who are rooting for Magic and the white people who are rooting for Larry back then?
Absolutely. There's no doubt that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are divided along racial lines, without question. Yeah. I mean, the white people are going to say, hey, Caitlin Clark, God, she's awesome. She's wonderful. Oh, that wasn't a tough foul. Black people may come out and say, hey, Angel Reese was just doing her job, man. Come on. That's what it's all about. She's in there and she's tough and she's a great basketball player, all this. But then it gets down to the hate issue, which the WNBA is now investigating. But hang on. We haven't seen the clip yet, and it's still worth talking about this at this level, because I get it. But hate is spewed all the time for every single sport, for NBA, for MLB, for NFL, for NHL, for MLS, for all of them. There is hate all over the place thanks to this ridiculous sewer that is known as social media. And the point about it is, if it gets to be a potential for violence, that's where you got to look into it. But people hating, just stop. It's not anything you have to wear. And I guarantee you that if this happens to NBA players like that and there's hate, the NBA looks into it, but the WNBA looks into it even more vociferously because it's two female athletes. Is that fair?
Great. It's 100% fair. There's hate. Every competitor will have hate. Every good competitor will have hate. Now, there's the difference. I may hate you and then I'm going up against you as a competitor, but I then have to respect you. There's an absolute difference. I can hate you, but I can respect you. I hated the Lakers growing up. I respect them. I hated the New York Yankees growing up. I hated Derek Jeter as I got older, but I respect him. And if I got a chance to shake his hand, you're a damn good ball player. I shook Magic Johnson's hand one time at the NBA All-Star game down in New Orleans, and I said, Magic, Kevin Winter, Boston, Massachusetts. The look he gave me was death. It was awesome because the grip got tighter. His grip got tighter, and I just said, and I hated you. But but I loved you.
Which is the sociological side of all this, which comes into sports, because you can hate a player, and we all have players we hate and teams that we hate. But then comes the delineating line. There are those who hate and will respect. They will say, I get it. It's like right now, I'll use the hockey reference because that's what I use a lot. The Toronto Maple Leafs and their fans just freaking hate Brad Marchand. Holy crap. They want to take him out and they want to run him over with a snowmobile. But at the same point, they'd be willing to say, and I've said this to Shannon many times when it comes down to players, I said, God, I hate that guy. But boy, I wish he was on our team. You hate him until they're there and they're helping you, and then all of a sudden you love him. That's one side. That's the respect side. But then you have the other side, which, thanks to the fetid sewer that is social media, you have people who can spew real hate and real violence and saying things that you would never say out loud if you weren't covered up by the fact that you are now running under an assumed name on social media, or nobody can really touch you, or your friends and family don't see you, or you put your own name out there and you really don't care what kind of reputation you have. That's the part that you have to investigate, and you got to stop that. But there's no way to stop it. Well, horse is out of the barn on that one.
Keyboard warriors will be there forever. They're always going to be from now until the end of time. You can't stop them. I also think part of this too is, and I brought it up before, where athletes now, it seems like basketball players now don't know how to take or give a hard foul. I also think athletes now, they don't know how to take and give a hard foul. They also don't know how to take. They don't know where the hate is. Automatically. So, and this is where I'm a fan of Angel Reese. But when we see the clip, when it plays, for those of you watching on the video podcast, Angel immediately snaps. But she did something first. And if you want to play the role of Bill Laimbeer, look it up, kids. He was a dick, an absolute dick on the basketball court. You want to play that role, you better be ready for when it comes back at you.
But he played a physical game, and this, I hate to say it, this walks back to what we have discussed seemingly every single show, and we've talked about basketball here, is why the game doesn't hold any great allure for me, is because they have taken the physical nature that I grew up with in the 80s and the 90s. I watched them play this kind of sport. It's not there anymore. But you do have those athletes that will put up with it, especially in the NBA. But then you have the preening prima donnas who say, don't touch me, don't get in my face. I'm going to get in. I'm going to come right back at you. I'm going to use the F word. I'm going to come all over you right now. And I'm going to make sure that you know how much I hate you. That unsettles you. That unsettles everything. That makes it, you're less. Walk away.
Right.
And it makes it better. Now, to your point, for those of you watching on the video cast, you'll be able to see this. For those of you listening on the audio podcast, what you're going to hear here is the play-by-play call of what happened in the game between the two of them, unedited. And then we're going to come back and there's something. If you do get a chance and you're listening on the audio podcast, see if you can watch this, if you can find the video on this, and you'll get an idea of what we're talking about here. What's the one thing that's interesting about it? But if you're watching it on video, you'll see it as well. This is Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese, and this is, here it is. This is the moment that changed the world.
Rebecca Allen, too strong on a three. And look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
That Angel took exception to. So initially, Angel pushes Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark points out the no call. Then she applies a hard foul on Reese. Reese gets up right away to get in the face of Clark. Aaliyah Boston ends up getting between them. You'll see on this angle, the initial part seems okay from Clark, but then there's a shove at the end that I think should be upgraded to a flagrant one, because that seemed like unnecessary contact from Clark.
Yeah, I agree with you. And she goes in. There is a little bit extra there from Caitlin Clark in terms of the foul.
Now, what everybody saw on that clip was the play where Angel Reese has the ball, Caitlin Clark reaches in, slaps the ball away. What you didn't see, unless you really had to pay attention, and even ESPN and so many of the others, while it was there, it's a couple of seconds for context. Angel Reese had committed undoubtedly a foul by pushing the one player in the back and shoving her. You can see Caitlin Clark even go, what's going on here? They're saying, you're not going to call this? So she gets the ball in her hand, and what does Clark do? She commits the hard foul, basically in retaliation for what she did. Complete basketball move, no animosity whatsoever. That's what happens in a game, and that's what happens in a game. And for Angel Reese, take it, suck it up, and stop embellishing, because she became a really bad actor in that as well, because that whole flailing of arms was nothing more than a show to put on to see what else she could draw, and then going after Clark when Clark had turned her back, and Angel Reese comes after, F you, what the F are you doing, and all this back and forth. That's just all Hollywood histrionics, which is Angel Reese trying to be on top of the whole thing and trying to say, I'm going to get you. It's my time to get in here and make some noise. That's what annoys me.
By the way, just go hit your 2 free throws and away you go. And you just got, because you weren't giving you the open layup. And I don't blame her. Also, Caitlin Clark was standing up for her teammate. Again, I'm a huge fan of both. And yes, a white person can be a fan of both. It can happen, okay? I'm a fan of both. And this is why I said before you played the clip, Angel, you want to play the role of Bill Lambier. Bang! That was a forearm to the back. I believe it's Natasha Howard. I know it's Howard. I think her first name's Natasha.
I think it's Natasha, yes.
Forearm to her back. And you're right. Caitlin's like, what the hell? Are we okay? You're not calling that? Whack! Right across the arm.
Welcome to a little retaliation in basketball and in a physical game. I give Caitlin Clark a tremendous amount of respect for that. She played the game hard, and there's a lot of people who look at Caitlin Clark and they say that she's soft.
Not anymore.
All she can do is shoot 3-pointers.
Not anymore.
Bullshit. This girl gets right in there and plays the game hard.
So here's also where I respect. This is where I go back to sometimes players today have never taken these fouls. Angel didn't know I'm sure Angel's been hit hard before. she didn't know what to do because it's like, wait, what? Someone just stepped up to me, and someone stepped up to me. Caitlin, here's what I love: you gave a hard foul, walk away. You're not chicken. You're walking away. You can even walk away with your arm up. Did it? My bad, like they do in the NBA. I committed the foul. Foul on me. I don't even know what the call was. I'm sure it was updated. Don't even know what the call was.
They have so many. They have so many lines for it now. Hard, intricate, physical foul, level 1, grade 1, grade A. Just call a foul and walk away, will you?
Right. I know. I'm with you. Look, in a sense, the WNBA for a moment probably went, uh-oh. But then the WNBA went, yeah. Yeah. More. Give me a little more. Don't let it get. And this is the fine line that they will be toting. Because now every person who does follow the NBA, the WNBA, every person, even like me, a casual observer, if there's a matchup and there's only, let's say there's only June baseball on that night, there's no NBA Finals and no Stanley Cup. I don't even know when the next time they play. But I may go look, won't I?
Exactly.
I may go.
It's a sales job.
Yes. So this also, you said it right. It goes to the cesspool of social media because everyone and their uncle has an opinion. And I also do understand people are sticking up for your own ilk.
Well, now, wait a minute now. See, but now you're crossing into some very difficult territory here.
Great. I'm trying not to.
But you're already there because there are people who are going to look at this and hear this, and they're going to say, here's a couple of white guys talking about the WNBA, men talking about the WNBA, and white guys talking about Angel Reese. And did you see the one guy with the Hawaiian shirt where he's hammering away at her? He has got to be a racist. You know this stuff starts, and it has no basis whatsoever. In fact, there is zero to it. But it's again that social media ilk. I'll use that word that you used, which will walk in here and say that's the cause. No,
by the way,
it is just play hard basketball. And not only that, it doesn't make a difference if you're a male or female basketball player. If this happens, I'll hit the male player the exact same. I don't care. Absolutely. I don't care what sex they are. I don't care what color they are. As far as I'm concerned, Angel, you played this. You did a little Hollywood. You put an act in there. You embellished it without question. National Hockey League players would look at that and go, come on, kid, you're not quite up to our level yet. We do it a lot better than this. And then you had to put on the whole show by trying to lift up your jersey and going after Caitlin Clark and making all this big melodramatic bullshit. Stop. Just play the game. You're a hell of a talented player. Just play the game. And like Kevin said, if you want to be Bill Laimbeer, be Bill Laimbeer. Matter of fact, we love it. And so would the WNBA.
Agree, but also be ready to get what Bill Laimbeer got coming to him. Robert Parrish decked the shit out of him one year. Decked the shit. Larry Bird threw a ball off his head.
It's going to happen sooner or later. Well, okay. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
I agree, but this is also why I don't think players, they want to play tough, but they don't know how to play tough. And when tough happens to them, you resort to playgrounds, and it can be any color because any color played on the playground. So don't go there. Don't even try it, people. I'm not like that. When you want to play tough, just know tough's coming the other way.
There's an old adage that I've used time and time again. If you want to play lumberjack, learn to handle your end of the log.
It's an interesting one.
Flat and simple, okay? You want to be the tough person, you want to be the tough guy, the tough gal, learn to handle that side of it, all right? If you want to strike back, then realize that's what you're going to get hammered with from now on. You're the one that decides you're going to strike back outside of the rules, or you walk away, take it, let your play speak for it, everything you do. And if Angel Reese lets her play speak for it and stops with all the histrionical bullshit, she's going to be seen by more people than see her now as one of the best players in the WNBA.
I remember. Question. If we're wrapping this one up, I'll finish it on this. I remember when I was doing Sports Centers at ESPN Radio. It was a quiet night, and look, this is what would happen. I would say if there's NBA, If there's NHL playoffs, those playoffs get top billing. If there's Major League Baseball, but sometimes you get a point where there's a quiet night, or you get a storyline in the WNBA that you're going to follow. Angel Reese was on like a double rebound streak. I think it was last year. She was on a ridiculously long streak. I gave her top billing because that was the story. It deserved it. That's the kind of player she is, right? That's the kind. Thank you. That's the kind of player she is. It deserved it. Sometimes you don't need that extra crap. You don't. The history on it. That I'm with you. That flailing, as much as I defend her, that flailing I didn't like. I was not a fan of that flailing.
And the reason for people to take any umbrage with all of this is ridiculous. There are people who will come in and say the only reason you're hitting on her is because A, it's women's basketball, B, you don't like women's basketball, C, it's a black player in women's basketball that you don't like, so it's got to show that you just hate them. 1, 2, 3, there you go, 3 strikes, you're out. You absolutely hate this. It doesn't make a difference. Yes, you're right. I'm not a big fan of the WNBA, but I can recognize a hell of a player when I see them.
Sure.
And whether it's Breckers, whether it's Clark, whether it's Reese, they're great players and great athletes. I can criticize them just like I criticize any male player in any other sport because that's what I do for a living, and it doesn't make a difference to me their sex or their race. No difference at all.
And by the way, we didn't even mention when we went through names. We didn't mention the half the teams from half the players from Vegas or New York, which are friggin' loaded. They are. Hey, that's that. Like I said, I'm going to go back to the comment. Back to what I said at the top. That's actually really good basketball that gets my attention.
Yeah,
when Vegas, New York play.
And you know full well that the WNBA, ESPN, any other broadcast partners are going to play the shit out of a clip like this.
Absolutely.
And they're going to keep talking about it because it's marketing, it's tickets, it's ratings. And I guarantee you the next time that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark play anywhere, it is going to become a major event. It's going to be put on a time when everybody can see it. They're going to make sure that the schedule allows other people to see it who may not be big basketball fans. And it's going to get hyped like crazy about Angel, Caitlin, the rematch.
Yes.
And it'll come in there and you'll have sound effects of crashing gloves and a boxing ring and all that. They'll go nuts for it because it works.
Agree.
Every time.
Agree.
What are you doing?
I was actually trying to find the schededule. I want to know when they're going to play next. They actually was curious. I was trying to find
it. Succeeds.
Look, this is what people do. You know, I was trying to give me 2 seconds. I was trying to find it, trying to find the schedule, regular season. So we want to play Indiana Saturday, June 7th, 8 p.m. on CBS.
Look at that.
Saturday, June 7th, Chicago at home versus Indiana, 8 p.m. on CBS.
Saturday night, prime time, major network. There you go.
And by the way,
and not only that, but the point you're making there is that the WNBA was already thinking ahead on this because they know exactly what they've got. They were hoping for this.
Yes. Right.
So they make the schedule out well in advance, of course. They don't have to change anything here.
No.
So they knew they were going to have Reese and Clark. Hey, we got fireworks here. Let's put it on prime time. Brilliant.
Exactly. Brilliant. Well done. You look, and that's how you build something. Yes. These two are going to help build. They're going to be foundation blocks looked on years later as what helped build the WNBA.
They're not going to be, right, you're going to have that first tier of players like Sue Bird and many of the others who were there who got this league off to a good start.
Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah, Rebecca Lobo. You can't say a solid start because they've had a lot of they've had a lot of moments here and a lot of guesses because let's be honest, the WNBA still wouldn't exist without a subsidy from the NBA.
Great.
The NBA keeps them alive right now. Eventually, they're going to have to go out on their own, and eventually it looks like they are going to be that way. And I hope they do. I hope they become as big as they want to be, although I did hear somebody say that one day that this had to be one of the social media memes. I don't even know if it was true. I just kind of saw it and stopped, where it said the WNBA in 5 years is going to be bigger than the NFL. I spit my coffee. I don't know who said it. I don't care.
Ma'am, or sir, or kid, can you please send some of what you were smoking my way?
Oh, man.
I'm unemployed and bored. I'm okay. I'm okay. I have time. I have time.
That's all, folks.